Hi, it's Steph here from Infinity Wellness. And I just wanted to do a short vlog to mark International Women's Day 2022. And particularly just to focus on stress triggers for women and everything that goes on for us that might cause us to move into that space of stress from time to time in our lives, maybe sometimes more than we might like. Stress comes in all sorts of forms, doesn't it? You know, it can be a small stressor, it can be a medium stressor, let's say, it can be something that's really big and it kind of tips us over the edge, maybe even chronic stress that's ongoing. But the challenge with stress is that where women carry such a big load every day, there is such a lot for us to think about. You know, we are daughters, we are sisters, we are mothers, we are wives, we are carers. We are the person that people lean into to cry on their shoulder. We are the carers for children from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. And even when they're asleep, we are still emotionally laboured in a way where the concern and the care continues to be there morning, noon and night. We are the, as they say, chief cook and bottle washer. We are looking after the house. We are sorting out the bills. We are changing the light bulbs. We are going out and buying the shopping. We are sorting out the breakfast, lunches and dinners. We're driving the children to school. We're bringing them home again. We're going to the after school clubs. We are trying to look after ourselves. We're trying to maintain a sense of care regime, whether that be beauty or health or eating well or fitness or sleep. You know, we are trying to educate ourselves. There is just so much going on for women and this women's load, the woman's load that we carry. But you know, there's a famous quote that says, you know, it's not the load that breaks us, it's the way that we carry it. It's not the load that breaks us, it's the way that we carry it. And it was Lena Horne that said that. And I guess the reason I wanted to just mention that today is because there is a way that as women we can manage our stress in potentially a more successful way, but also in a way that causes us just slightly less suffering. And this is the theory for me. There's a fantastic guy called Viktor Frankl that talks about between stimulus and response, there is space. And in that space is our freedom to choose the direction that we go in. And in that freedom is our growth. So what he's essentially meaning by that is that think about the stress trigger, the thing that causes you to feel stressed, okay? And if we react to that stress rather than respond to it, there is a downstream impact of lots of other things that then happen. So we're triggered, we react to it, and in that reaction, because we then realise we maybe behaved in a way that we didn't mean to, said something that we really didn't intend to say, we reacted in a way that causes us so much more guilt and hurt. This downstream impact after the reaction is really significant, and it just layers on the stress, you know, probably 10 times more than it needed to in the first place. So between stimulus and response, there is space. So the stimulus is your stress, it's our stress. If we create space after the stress or whilst the stress is taking place, we can learn to respond to it in a much more helpful way. So the space is physical space, it's emotional space, it's psychological space. It's how we respond to the stress. And by creating that space, we can take a step back and we can choose the path that we want to take. And in the path that we take, we then find some freedom and some growth in that choice. So just think a bit about that. Next time there's a stress trigger for you, no matter how mild or how big, can you practice taking a step back, seeing what's going on, listening to your heart? How do I feel emotionally? I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm frustrated. Coming to your thoughts and watching them, they're spiraling out of control. So pausing, how can that help you more? And then feeling that stress trigger in your physical body. What's going on there? Normally when we're stressed, no matter how mild or severe that stress is, there's going to be a huge amount going on for us physically. So create that space, take a step back, consider that stress trigger, and then in that space we'll be able to consider the way that we respond to it and ultimately reduce and alleviate any ongoing suffering. Happy Women's Day 2022. Let's break the bias.